Lord, you were favorable to your land. You restored the fortunes of Jacob. You forgave the iniquity of your people. You covered all their sin. Selah. You withdrew all your wrath. You turned from your hot anger. Restore us again, O God of our salvation, and put away your indignation toward us. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger to all generations? Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your steadfast love, O Lord, and grant us your salvation. Let me hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people, to his saints. But let them not turn back to folly. Surely his salvation is near to those who fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Steadfast love and faithfulness meet. Righteousness and peace kiss each other. Faithfulness springs up from the ground, and righteousness looks down from the sky. Yes, the Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase. Righteousness will go before him and make his footsteps a way. This psalm is a heartfelt prayer and reflection which speaks to both the past and present favor of God upon the land of Israel, and it expresses a deep longing for continued mercy and restoration. The psalmist opens by acknowledging God's past mercies, noting that the Lord has been favorable to the land and has restored the fortunes of Jacob, which symbolizes the entire nation of Israel. This opening serves as a reminder of God's benevolence and the historical acts of deliverance God has provided for his people. These acts include forgiving the iniquity of the people and covering all their sins, highlighting themes of divine forgiveness and grace. Such acts of clemency from God demonstrate his willingness to reconcile with his people despite their transgressions. The psalmist then reflects on the withdrawal of God's wrath and the turning away from his fierce anger. This signifies moments when God relented from punishment, favoring mercy instead. The memory of divine compassion in the past underpins the psalmist's current appeal for a renewal of that same mercy. The transition from recounting past forgiveness to beseeching for present help is seamless as the psalmist entreats God to again restore his people. It is a plea to put away his indignation, which suggests that the people are currently experiencing or fear potential judgment or hardships. The sense of urgency and intensity in asking whether God will be angry forever reflects a deep concern for the spiritual and temporal well-being of the nation. The central request of this psalm is for revival and renewal. The plea, "Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you?" speaks to a desire for spiritual awakening and rejuvenated faith, so that the people may once more find joy in God. This revival is seen as a path to joy, emphasizing the fundamental connection between experiencing God's favor and the joy of the people. Moreover, the psalmist asks for a demonstration of God's steadfast love and the granting of salvation. God's steadfast love, a recurring theme throughout the Psalms, speaks to his unwavering commitment and loyalty to his covenant people. The request for salvation is not just for temporal deliverance, but also for spiritual salvation, which leads to peace and favor with God. The following verses transition from plea to proclamation. "Let me hear what God the Lord will speak," introduces a confident expectation that God will respond. The psalmist is expectant, believing firmly that God will speak peace to his people, suggesting a communication from God that alleviates fear and turmoil. However, there is also a caveat, "But let them not turn back to folly." This suggests that God's peace and goodwill require the people's commitment to righteousness and a steady rejection of previous foolish or sinful behaviors. Salvation, according to the psalmist, is near to those who fear God, a phrase that underscores the importance of reverence and piety. The hope is that as the people honor God, his glory will dwell in their land, signifying God's presence and favor. The psalm paints a picture of divine order and harmony where steadfast love and faithfulness, righteousness and peace prevail. These virtues are personified as meeting and kissing, depicting intimate and harmonious relationships. It is a poetic vision of God's kingdom where moral order triumphs and where divine human relationships are marked by fidelity and peace. The imagery continues with "faithfulness springs up from the ground, and righteousness looks down from the sky, suggesting a comprehensive embrace of these qualities from earth to heaven. It signifies that both human responsibility and divine grace play roles in achieving the desired state of blessing. It is an acknowledgement that God's generosity will lead to material and spiritual productivity, as envisaged by the statement, "The Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase." This is a vision where divine blessing leads to prosperity and abundance in the land. Finally, the psalm concludes with the assurance that righteousness will go before him and make his footsteps a way. This suggests that righteousness paves the way for God's presence and actions, and that the adherence to righteousness amongst the people will draw forth God's active participation in their lives.